Since 2020, we have grown this company 1,400%. We are a small and mighty team of all-stars. And so if I could only hire people who had worked at NASA first, it would definitely have been a difficult thing for us to scale. We should not need A-plus players to run our company. Because if the back end is wild and the more pressure you put on the back end, the more bananas it gets in the office, then no. The way we grew over 1,400% was by
energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Ashley Nicole Show and the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. Okay, you guys, so today we're gonna be having a great discussion. We're gonna be talking about 5 signs your offer is not scalable. 5 signs your offer is not scalable. Now, we've been having a good time on this show. I want you, before we even get started, you know it's gonna be good. Share this with 5 people, you guys. I don't care if you share it with your parents, your family, your friends, but it would be special to me if you shared it with another business owner and in the comments just drop shared. I read all the comments personally at this point, so I will likely see your comment and respond. So please, please, please share this video out. All right, let's dive right in. Now, I recently made the Inc. 5000 list. Woo, 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 woo. We are number 370 on the Inc. 5000 list, meaning we are in the top 7.4% or so of the fastest growing companies in America. And I'm so excited about it. You guys, we started Speak Your Way to Cash with an event where there were 10 people there. We maybe made $1,000. It was not in the cards for us to have grown this into a multi-million-dollar sales training company, but we did it with your help. So shout out to all the cash leads. Thank you for everyone who said congratulations. If you wanna see my response to making the Inc. 5000 list, you can go ahead and watch that on the YouTube channel, but it got me thinking. Not only were we on the list, we were number 370 on the list, and I was like, well, how? I was so shocked. If you watch the reaction video, you literally see me going like, is this real? Is this real? Mainly because, you guys, I just work. I don't like work and then look at the results right away, and then work a little bit more and then look for the results right away. I just work. I get after it. And so I was just head down working. I didn't know we were growing it so fast, so I did the math. Since 2020, we have grown this company 1,400%. More than 1,400%. Whoa, whoa, how? How did this happen? How did this happen? And so I've been thinking a lot about how did this happen. I've been thinking about that because we are doing something called the Scalable Offer Accelerator, August 27th. So if you are a business owner, you've already made at least $5K a month in your business and you're looking to scale your business, you're looking to grow your business and you sell services, I want you to go to www.speakyourwaytocash.com/scale because we're doing the Scalable Offers Accelerator. And because we're number 370 on the list, I am gonna work with 370 women-owned businesses that are looking to scale at no cost in the Scalable Offer Accelerator for 1 day. It's on the 27th. All we ask is that you're already generating revenue, you sell services, and third, you are going to show up and give it your all, you guys, because I've never done anything like this before. I know it's going to be incredibly impactful, and I want the right people in the room. So you have to apply. If you qualify, there's no cost to attend at a basic level, at the general ticket level. And so, hey, that's what we're doing to celebrate this incredible thing, because even though we won because of our community. You all are in our community, so of course we're gonna keep doing what got us there. We're gonna keep giving back. And we have requirements for who we work with, because here's what I realized. The way we grew over 1,400% was by consistently tweaking and perfecting our offer suite, making sure that we had offers that scale. So let's get into it. 5 signs your offer will not scale. And I took notes to keep me on track, because y'all know I like to go off track, okay? Y'all know I like to go off track, okay? Number 1 sign your offer won't scale. You have to do everything yourself. If your offer is highly dependent on your direct involvement, only you can deliver that thing, it is highly likely that it's not a scalable offer. In the very beginning, I was doing a lot of one-on-one calls, one-on-one coaching calls, one-on-one this, and it was always me selling me, not me selling a framework, not me selling a process, not me selling our community, our tools, our resources. It was me selling my own personal skill set and savvy. And so what that meant was, you guys, is that if Ashley didn't show up and deliver on all the services, then those services were not selling. And that is a huge bottleneck to scalability and growth. And truth be told, scalability, you're ready to scale. Let's just define this. You are ready to scale, not when you want to, not when you feel like it, but when you have a process for acquiring customers that you can put fire behind and accelerate the results you've already earned. What does that mean? That means at the point that we knew exactly our cost per lead, we knew exactly how we were acquiring customers, we were really ready to put more money behind the engine that was fueling our growth to get more results. So if right now you can't tell me, hey, Ashley, this is exactly how we acquire our customers, this is exactly what we do, it's something that can grow, it's something that can be repeatable, then you may not be ready to scale yet. You may be ready to grow. Now, we talk about businesses in 3 categories. We have our build your way to cashers. These are people who they're like pre-revenue or they haven't yet crossed the $50,000 mark. Then we have our grow your way to cashers. These folks are making under $500,000 but over $50,000 in their business. So they're just trying to grow what's there. They're still testing a lot as it relates to client acquisition and service delivery. Then we have our scale your way to cashers, okay? Scale your way to cashers are those folks who are already over $500,000 or $1 million in revenue or more, and they are looking to go to the next level. They're looking to become multi-million-dollar firms and beyond, and do it in a way that is consistent, that feels good and aligned for them. So let me know in the comments. If you're listening to this on the podcast, just say it out loud. I'll pretend I'm hearing you. But let me know in the comments of the YouTube video. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, go and watch the YouTube video. The visual is crazy, okay? So go and watch the visual. Let me know where you're at. Are you a build your way to cashier? Are you a grow your way to cashier? Or are you a scale your way to cashier? Because if you are a grow your way to cashier, you would be perfect for the Scalable Offers Accelerator if you're in the grow or the scaling phase of your business. Now, here's the thing. If all of your services rely on you, I was talking recently to a brilliant life coach and she was saying, hey, I got to do everything one-on-one. That's how that's how we currently sell. And I'm like, okay, do you know your capacity? And here's the thing about capacity. This is how you're going to be able to tell whether you have a scalable offer. Let's do the math on this, and I'll try to get my team to add in this visual. Let's say you are a life coach. Let's say you charge $100 per session, and each session is an hour, okay? And you work 40 hours a week. So what do we got here? You're a life coach. You charge $100 per session. You work 40 hours per week. How many clients can you service per week if it is just you? 40 clients. Okay, so 40 times 100 is $4,000. Now let's say you come to me and you're like, Ashley, I want to make $1 million a year. Your capacity, though, is only to make $4,000 per week. Well, there's 52 weeks in a year. So if you can make $4,000 a week times 52, that means the maximum capacity, the maximum scalability of that $100 per person offer is $208,000 per year. Are y'all following me on that? What that means is that your offer isn't scalable. It's literally just dependent on you. Now, how do you make this offer scalable? Well, you could hire independent contractors to actually deliver the coaching. You could raise the price point of the offer so that you have more ability to hire the contractors. Because here's the thing, maybe in your field, the average consultant is making $80 an hour. So if you want them to work for you for $100, you're only charging the end user $100. You got to pay them $80. You're only making $20. Your profitability isn't going to be where you need it to be because that only includes your human capital. That doesn't include your ad spend. That doesn't include your technology spend. That doesn't include every other area of your profit and loss statement that is required for you to run that business. So likely the best thing we can do to make that offer more scalable is to change up the offer itself. So number one, if it's all reliant on you, you got to do everything yourself. And I don't even know if we're going to get into this, but you don't have a framework for that offer, then it's not going to be scalable. That leads me to number two. You don't have frameworks or systems. And we're going to start with frameworks. Number two, your offer is not scalable if you do not have frameworks. Now, there are 2 types of frameworks I want to discuss: external frameworks and internal frameworks. External frameworks is like, hey, at Speak Your Way to Cash, we teach experts how to land 5- and 6-figure corporate speaking contracts using the paid methodology. The paid methodology stands for press, how to assemble an incredible offer, how to invite the best clients to work with you, how to deliver exceptionally for every client. There's a process underneath each of those steps, but this is the framework that we have created. We own the trademark for that framework. We have training material around that framework, and every single coach that comes in to Speak Your Way to Cash goes through our internal certification process based on our external frameworks. Now, an external framework allows you to get your clients the best results time and time again. So it's not just, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to sell more services to corporations, and the way you do it is like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, this is what I did. No, it's a formula where if you put in these pieces, you operate these pieces, the result will be substantially similar each time if you operate these pieces. There's tweaks that we can make, and there's some tailoring that we could do for each and every piece, but at a base level, it's a process. So that means I could step out, I could teach this process to a coach, I can internally certify a coach on the external process, and I could teach them some proprietary ways to teach and regurgitate that process that's not available to the general public, and then that makes this offer, the offers that we sell, the coaching and the training, more scalable, because I don't have to be the only one that delivers it. But if everything's up here, it's not written down, it's not systematized, and you don't have a framework or a training program to teach other people how to teach and regurgitate your particular frameworks, then no, it's not going to be scalable. So that's an external framework. It is a formula that you use with your clients to get them consistent results. An internal framework is going to be like our PSA method, problem, solution, ask. Every single person within our company, if they want to come to me and ask a question, they have to follow the PSA method, problem, solution, ask. It is a communication framework internally that allows us to communicate as a team effectively, efficiently, and get more out of each and every day. It's an internal framework, but you may also have internal frameworks for copywriting, internal frameworks for scheduling your podcast, internal frameworks for communicating with clients, internal frameworks for handling sales calls. You wanna have internal frameworks. There was a study by, I think it was Boston Consulting Group, that said you can almost triple productivity by implementing internal frameworks. Internal frameworks teaches your team how to think so that they can get the best results every single time for your customers, and they can help you to achieve your revenue goals. So whereas external frameworks get your customers results, it's the process you teach your customers to get them results, and you teach your front-facing team members to get your customers results. Internal frameworks help your team to operate efficiently. So you wanna have external frameworks and internal frameworks. If you don't have that, then your offer is not going to scale, because if the back end is wild and the more pressure you put on the back end, the more bananas it gets in the office, then no, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna help you scale, right? So these are things that we had to really think about as we grew our company. Once we developed frameworks, we released the Speak Your Way to Cash book. Before we released the Speak Your Way to Cash book, our trading company it hadn't hit $1 million yet. After the Speak Your Way to Cash book, we were able to hit $1 million in revenue. Why? Everyone, almost 80% of our customers that paid 5 figures or more to our company read that book first, okay? So it's easier to write great books when you have great frameworks that help people get great results. We've had people come up to me at events be like, Ashley, I read your book, landed $1 million contract. Ashley, I read your book, landed a $180,000 contract. Ashley, I read your book and did this. I read your book and did that. It became the entry point for people coming into our world, and they always say it's so easy to understand. Why? Because it's based on a framework. Each part is a different element of the framework, and our book shows you how to create frameworks. But at the Scalable Offers Accelerator, one of the things that we're gonna look at is, what are your frameworks? What are your frameworks, okay? What are your frameworks? 3, systems. Now, we're gonna talk specifically, if your sales process and your operations process, the way that you deliver your services to your customer, is not built on a system, then it's not gonna be a scalable offer. What do I mean by that? If you gotta manually send everybody what they buy, it's gonna be hard to scale that. If you have to manually send all your emails, it's going to be hard to scale that. If you don't have a CRM, right? If you don't have a way to deliver things automatically so people can buy without you being awake, if you don't have a way for your team to be trained on a tool and then implement the strategies that you are selling or the system or the products or the services that you're selling, it's gonna be difficult. So you gotta get your tech backend in order. Once your tech backend is in order, it is easier for you to scale your offer. Why is that? Because once we got, we originally were using like MailChimp and Google Docs and all this other stuff, and I was manually sending out stuff. This is the beginning of our business. That was really cumbersome. It was tiring. It was challenging. It wasn't easy for people to pay. It wasn't quick for people to pay. And so because of that, it slowed down the sales process like molasses. It was like really slow. So you want to make sure you have a system, you have technology that is helping you to run your company efficiently, and you can decrease the amount of time it takes for someone to pay you. I will never forget manually sending out proposals. Just when I was primarily selling speaking as like me getting paid to speak services, when we shifted from me manually sending out a contract, manually sending out an invoice, manually sending out this, to using Dipsado and using an all-in-one proposal system, the time that our contracts would close went from 60 days to 30 days to even 14 days in some instances. And these are corporate or collegiate contracts. Incredible. So the tech system that you have backing it really does matter. Okay. So that's number one, we talked about you got to do everything yourself. Number two, we talked about having frameworks, internal and external. Number three, we talked about having tech-based systems that allow you to use automation to scale your company. And then number four is going to be your offer is not scalable if customer acquisition isn't scalable. So if the way you sell your offer requires that one-on-one laborious work, that is more difficult to scale. So if you cannot sell your offer one-to-many and you are a small business owner, you may want to look at, is there another way for you to sell this offer, right? And so what do I mean by that? I remember when I sold legal services, originally what I was doing is I was doing one-on-one DMs, and I wasn't selling legal services in the DMs, but I would be like selling or inviting them to a free workshop on trademarks, right? And so I'm inviting them to these workshops on trademarks, and I'm like, hey, did you see this? You know, these are people that already follow me. If you're interested at all, let me know. Incoming. And it was a DIY service. It wasn't a legal service. It was a DIY service. So it was just for educational purposes, inviting people to these workshops. But the real cheat code would be when I would do these classes on how to file your own trademarks, and I would have a group of people who were at this particular workshop, and I could say, hey, all of you are here to file your own trademarks. This is what you do to file your own trademark. But if you want our firm to do it, then you could click this link over here. Like, you can go to this website and the firm will actually file your trademarks for you. You won't have to worry about doing it yourself. It'll be very quick, very easy, very simple. That allowed me to not sell one-on-one, but to give them an offer one-to-many with a large group of people there. Similarly, when I stopped hosting, in the very beginning, I would host my own events, and that was great, but I didn't have a lot of people on my email list. So when I shifted from hosting my own events to going and speaking at large conferences filled with entrepreneurs that I could sell to, like I spoke at Podcast Summit and taught them about trademarks and things like that when I was primarily running my law firm. And we would get like 5 or 10 legal clients at a time instead of me having to sell one-on-one in a more laborious fashion. Now, selling one-on-one still works, but you have to build a sales team. For many people who are making $50, $60, $70, even $100,000, it is not always feasible for you to have a sales team because you're just not making enough money to do that. You could, but will you be able to afford the caliber of salesperson that you need? Maybe not. So you want to find, how can I sell this offer to a group of qualified buyers instead of only being able to do it number one? So that's if your client acquisition process isn't scalable, then that's going to make your offer hard to sell. Then we're going to talk about if there's difficulty in delivering the actual offer. And I want to talk a little bit about if your offer requires a specialized team to deliver, it makes it more difficult to scale. There's a book called The E-Myth. And one of the things that he says in The E-Myth, Michael Gerber, I believe, is the author of that book. Check it out. It's a good book. is he says like, and I'm totally paraphrasing. Michael, if you watch this and I quote you wrong, just charge it to my head, not my heart. But one of the things that I took away from reading that book was that we should not need A-plus players to run our companies. That was a huge epiphany for me because I've always been like, I need to hire the best. I need to work with the best. I need to only be with the best. And one of the takeaways from the book was if you require A-plus people to run your company and you can only hire A++ people, that becomes a bottleneck. You need to have a process and a system that is so good for selling your offer that and delivering upon your offer that you could hire C+ people. And at the end of the day, them C+ people could take that SOP or those C+ people could take that internal framework and thought processes that you could teach them and they can deliver an A+ product every single time. But that requires you to have your processes in order. It doesn't require you to hire A+++++ talent. It requires you to have A+ processes, A+ systems, A+ frameworks. And that is on you as the CEO to provide that. Because if you require highly specialized talent, and if that talent is really difficult to find, then it is going to be more difficult for you to have a scalable offer. Okay? So number 5 is like if it requires highly specialized talent to deliver your offer, then your offer is likely not scalable. It's likely more difficult to scale. Because think about it, y'all. You are the A+ player, okay? Like at your company, you A+, I'm A+, we A+. But if you're a small business and you can only afford to hire A++ talent, that becomes very difficult because every company's biggest hurdle, most companies, their biggest hurdle, even if they're Fortune 100, Fortune 50, Inc. 5000, is finding specialized labor. It's more expensive, it's more difficult to hire for, it's more difficult to manage because you may not know enough about it to really manage them well. So you want to think about as you're building your offers at the base level before your company is big enough to really be able to afford that highly specialized talent or before you get that $1 billion investment, which I am rooting for all of you all to get. Before all of that, you want to make sure that you have an offer that can scale. And that doesn't necessarily require A+++ talent. Now, I still recommend that you hire top talent for sure. And there's some processes and some things that we've done in order to make sure that we can really hire top talent. But you shouldn't need that. You shouldn't need that. If you need that and you're just starting out, you're still in that $100, $200, $400, even $500,000 phase, and you can only hire tip-top talent, like people who are highly specialized, you can't train them, they have to know stuff that you don't know and all that, then just consider it may become a bottleneck. Even down to me hiring lawyers. Like at Mobile General Counsel, we had to hire lawyers. That is specialized talent. They do have a bar degree. But one thing I realized is if I developed an internal associate training program for our law firm, where every lawyer that came in actually was able to watch this training program and it was able to take them from where they were at to where I needed them to be to deliver the work. We were able to utilize automation and tech tools and systems and checklists and processes to make it so that even if you're straight out of law school and you don't have a lot of experience, you're able to go through that associate training portal and really you're able to deliver our clients some incredible results. And that is the same thing that we did for Speak Your Way to Cash is we developed a coaches training portal. But we knew we were gonna have to hire and train our coaches and make sure they were up to speed. And we do have incredible talent at Speak Your Way to Cash, but we are a small and mighty team of all-stars. And so if I could only hire people who had 15, 20 years experience and worked at NASA first, it would definitely have been a difficult thing for us to scale Speak Your Way to Cash. So hopefully you guys got some really cool thoughts and insights into this and you got some good ideas about this. One of the things that I will say, you guys, is like if you are already making $5K a month or you made $75,000 in your business last year, make sure you come to the Scalable Offers Accelerator. The application will take you less than a couple of minutes to fill out. It's really quick and easy. Answer it for real. It's a real application. People are accepted, people are not. And even if you're not accepted, we do have a gift for you just for, filling out the application, but it's going to be an incredible event. And if you're watching this after the live event was over, still go there. We'll make sure that we have something there for you to take a look at as well. So make sure you go to www.speakyourwaytocash.com/scale and we will see you at the Scalable Offers Accelerator. Should be good. All right, team. give me a report on sales in your regions.
Sales are down in the north and west.
Sales are up in the south, and the east is pretty much the same.
All right, that handles the United States, but how are sales going globally for our Black women experts?
While North America is experiencing a downturn, we're observing a slight increase in Europe, stable performance in Canada and Africa, and varied results across all other regions.
Sales are down in North America. Why aren't they using their powers?
They are, Ashley. The lawyers are using their legal powers, the accountants are crunching numbers, the experts are pitching, the authors are writing, the coaches are coaching, and the speakers are speaking, but they're all maxing out at about 50% across the board.
It looks like something's attacking them.
What is it?
They've been feeling overwhelmed, tired, and unmotivated. They're dealing with decision fatigue, overthinking everything and feeling stuck in their thoughts. They lack clarity and motivation, feeling overstimulated and trying to do everything at once. Money is not a motivator for them anymore. And after the pandemic, grief and burnout have taken a toll. They're trying to identify their biggest obstacles, but it's almost like something keeps standing in their way.
Sounds like the enemy is at it again. Why can't they see his patterns?
Maybe it's because the enemy keeps shape-shifting. It's showing up as insecurity, overwhelm, fear, and self-doubt. But really, it's just a distraction.
Okay, how are their pitch levels in the regions?
They're pitching, but not as much as they need to.
What about their prayer levels?
Lower than needed for all they got going on.
What about coaching? Are they getting any wise counsel, strategic guidance, high-level expertise?
Sometimes, but they're still trying to do everything themselves.
That's it. One of the biggest tricks of the enemy is to make us believe that we can do everything ourselves. Now, truth be told, sisters do a lot, but we cannot do everything alone. We have got to come together.
Should we call a meeting?
We need to call a meeting, an assembling of Black women experts. I got it. Black women sell live. An assembling of Black women experts who are ready to strategize and scale their sales. We're gonna do this in person in Atlanta, Georgia.
Why not have a virtual option for our global experts?
That's a great idea, but we cannot televise what we're going to talk about. This isn't something we want to live stream. We need to know exactly who is in the room with us. And we need to develop a strategic plan to quickly accelerate their sales. Top secret sales strategies. Until we get a handle on this situation, this event is gonna have to be a closed session.
But how will we disseminate tickets?
Great point, because technically we've already been selling tickets, but now we need to be more strategic now that we know the issues. So here's what we're gonna do. From this point on, all sales of Black Women Sell Live tickets will cease until August 5th at 0900 hours. Everyone will go to blackwomensellevent.com and get on the wait list. And on August 5th at 9 a.m., we will release tickets only to the wait list first. Until that date, though, they can go to blackwomensellevent.com and get on the wait list. They will be the first to get their tickets.
Got it. I will alert my region now so they can buy their tickets now.
Same.
If you're a Black woman expert looking to accelerate your sales and grow your business, then you have to join us at Black Women Sell Live, October 3rd through the 5th in Atlanta, Georgia. You've never been to an event like this. At this event, for 3 days, we're gonna go deep into sales strategies that are going to accelerate your business. And here, I want you to put your cape on. While everyone's telling you to take your cape off and you don't need to be Superwoman, I'm telling you that sis, your cape isn't what's heavy, but your thoughts just might be. So at Black Women Sell Live, we're gonna address the real issues that's holding you back from truly accelerating your sales growth. Meet us in Atlanta, Georgia, October 3rd through the 5th at Black Women Sell Live. There, we're gonna activate your superpowers, and you are gonna be able to scale your sales. Go to blackwomensellevent.com and get your ticket today. It's going down on August 5th at 0900 hours, and I want you ready to get your orders.
Yeah. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. I need energy, need only good people that's around me. All the faith you can give, that's the recipe.